The number one reason why you can't build a new habit or why you can't get rid of your bad habits is this. You're not using the brain function properly. You're always fighting against it. In this video, you will learn 5 tips on how to change your bad habits the easiest way. This changed my life and I'm pretty sure it will change yours. But just before we dive into it, if you're new here, hi, my name is Joey and this channel is all about self-development tips to change your mindset and changing your life. So if this sounds good to you, please consider subscribing and hit that notification bell. Did you know that 45% of our brain is running every day on autopilot, which means by doing habits? 30% of your brain is used while sleeping, so this means if you can fill up the most important 45% with good habits, you can dramatically change your life. What you need to understand is what the brain likes and hates to do. The brain loves efficiency. That's why 45% is operating by habits. Our brain hates big changes. Remember how we evolved as human beings. Our ancestors didn't get out of the tree immediately and start walking on 2 legs. They needed to be deeply cautious to protect their lives. So our brain isn't designed to do scary stuff or painful things. So whenever we want to build a good habit, we need to be in line with these fundamental functions and not fight against them. Which brings us to tip number 1. Never trust your willpower. The reason why your new habit doesn't last isn't because you're lazy or anything. If you're addicted to candy bars and you have them all around your room, there is no chance you can avoid that temptation. Remember, our brains love efficiency. It hates wasting energy fighting against temptations or struggles. So the easiest thing is to get them out of your sight or reduce the frictions on how many times you physically encounter them. And whenever you want to start something new, for example, when you want to go to a gym and get fit, find a way to be able to go easily without using high willpower. It's not sustainable when you need to push yourself every time to go to the gym. The solution might be to go to a gym that is nearby your house or office. Or if you don't want to meet people you know, pick a time or place that you can be alone. Our brains are a genius coming up with reasons to avoid hard things and what we hate, so you need to create an environment that makes it easy to access without energy. Tip number 2 is go slow. Our brain wants to grow slowly, not rapidly. It wants to prevent you from being burnout, so it tries to protect you whenever you go the extreme. By knowing this function, it makes more sense to have the patience to progress little by little. For example, when you want to start a new habit to do 50 push-ups a day, but you only have the muscles to do maximum 15, set up a goal to do 10 a day in the beginning stage. It's important to build up the momentum first and not setting a goal that sounds cool. Go slow in your own pace. Gradually increase your push-ups goals to 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Be careful and easy on yourself so that your brain doesn't feel overwhelmed. Tip number 3 is add small changes. Now I know that going slow might sound too easy, but you can't forget that our brains gets easily bored too. You need to add some changes to avoid boredom along with going slow. How do you do that? In the push-ups example, if you start off with 10 push-ups a day, how about changing your grip? Make it wider or triangle or whatever so that it's not always the same. By going slow and adding small changes, your brain will be able to adapt, expanding the comfort zone little by little without any resistance, which makes it easier to make it a habit. Tip number 4 is soak yourself with related info. Well, this is quite simple but vital to keep you not only motivated but also creative on your journey. Watch videos or read books or magazines quite intensively on what you're working on. Gaining new knowledge and looking at the people that are already ahead of you will encourage you to try new things and inspire you to want to achieve that same level. There are always those days that you might not want to do it. These kind of external motivations are useful to lift you up and keep you going. Tip number 5 is declare who you are. This is more of a mindset but extremely powerful. Identify who you are and who you want to be. Define yourself in these blanks. I am ABC. I do XYZ. I don't do ... Let me explain. The hardest part in building a habit is when you face your temptations. And as we went through in tip number 1, we shouldn't rely on our willpower either. But it's impossible to shut out everything, and there are cases when you have to fight against those temptations. So how do we overcome it? Well, it's similar to reprogramming your brain. When you're in a situation that you're craving to eat that delicious junk food right in front of you, declare this: I am healthy. I only eat healthy food. I don't eat junk food. I don't. When you declare this and become the best version of yourself, you'll start feeling strong and powerful. But again, don't trust your willpower. If you're always saying something like, I will not give in, or I can't, and I shouldn't be eating this junk food, This won't work because you need tremendous willpower to stop that craving. It's more like a torture. Well, if your heart is made of steel and you have super discipline, it's okay, but if you're a lazy normal person like me, you should focus on rewriting your brain to declare that you're already the person you want to be and the person that takes the right actions naturally. Means independently saying I don't smoke instead of I can't smoke because my wife tells me not to or whatsoever. There's a whole lot of difference on how you face temptations by having this simple independent mindset. I think everyone has a bad habit that they would like to get rid of their life and replace it with something good. Take these 5 tips and slowly work on transforming them to change your life. Remember that 45% of our brain is working on autopilot mode, which is habits. How you manage your habits determines how you can gain control of your life. If you want to learn more about building a habit, the next video to watch is in the link below. Question of the day: what bad habit do you want to get rid of? Please post your comments below because I really love to hear your story. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.